Audiobooks.com Publishing presents An Uncomplicated Life, a father's memoir of his exceptional daughter. Written by Paul Daugherty. Read for you by Robert McCollum, with a special introduction from Paul Daugherty. We're all connected. I don't mean that in a saccharine greeting card sense. We're joined by situation and geography and happenstance. What we do with the connections that occur defines who we become. We can't thrive alone. Fulfillment needs partners. Jillian Daugherty's life has been a happy conjoining of partners. Her story is about the power of a communal joining of hands and demonstrates that we were each put here to benefit the other. 3 years after starting this project, this is what I will take from it. We're only as good as the way we treat each other. The telling of Jillian's story involves many people. They are ordinary folks moved to extraordinary goodness by a child they often met by chance. Their lives are as rich as my daughter's, and every bit as sad and joyous, burdened and heroic. Spurred by compassion or justice or simple decency, they all helped Jillian become Jillian. In return, Jillian offered a mirror to their goodness. They couldn't help but like what they saw. They have helped Jillian live. She has helped them live better. This was a book achieved in fits and starts, bursts of adrenaline writing surrounded by weeks and months of inactivity. I write about sports for a newspaper. I also write a daily blog. The random nature of it all means I am at once free and shackled. I work at home, usually, so I don't have to waste time commuting or talking with coworkers or eating lunch. That's good. I'm also on call. Teams don't fire coaches between 9 and 5 on weekdays. Networks don't think about my dinner time when they schedule games. Writing about sports requires flexibility and a tolerance for airport security lines. Your definition of a work week is determined by when the games occur. All the time. I've written this book on scraps of paper in airport terminals and on the Long Island Railroad, bound for Manhattan. I've scribbled notions over a Western omelet, on a paper napkin pulled from a dispenser in a diner in suburban Washington, D.C. From a promontory on Angel Island in San Francisco Bay, I've watched as fog draped the Golden Gate Bridge in fine white linen. Then I've used a golfer's pencil and the back of a ferry schedule to write down some ideas. I tried writing in a rented room, believing such a setting would provoke good words and thinking. It didn't. We own a small cabin 70 miles east of our home in suburban Cincinnati. It's hard in the middle of Amish country, where solidly flat Ohio yields to the pleasant heaves of Appalachia. I went there, believing big thoughts would emerge from the pastoral curves of the land. They didn't. Inspiration comes when you're not looking. I found it while wandering the vast and unharnessed Superstition Mountains outside Phoenix, where it was easy to see endless possibilities and how they'd impacted Jillian's life. Every summer, my son and I visit the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. Traversing the spine of those ancient hills provoked thoughts of mortality and living in the moment as best we can. That birthed a chapter on savoring Jillian's small wins. Nothing survives, Jackson Browne sang, but the way we live our lives. I don't know Joel Meyerowitz or Buzz Bissinger, but I am in their debt. Meyerowitz photographs landscapes. I have 2 of his books, which are made up of photographs of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Meyerowitz's photos do for me what Edward Hopper's work does for lovers of paintings. The pictures, one in particular, fill me with the sort of abiding love and melancholy longing so necessary to the telling of Jillian's story. Bissinger is known as a tough guy journalist, but he didn't come off that way in his book Father's Day, about a cross-country road trip with his son. Not just any son, but an adult son with mental disabilities since birth. Bissinger struggles with his role as Zach's dad, and with his guilt for having not done better by him. I know the feeling. My wife, Kerry, was, is, and always will be Jillian's first champion. Kerry is a woman of extraordinary will and foresight. Jillian's map emerged from Kerry's determination. My son, Kelly, has been Jillian's shoulder. His full appreciation of his sister's presence has helped to give her the confidence to thrive in what otherwise might have been an overwhelming world. Jillian's family is not just bound by blood. She owns a vast nation of family. Never underestimate the power of people to do good. The network of people who have influenced Jillian's life could fill a map of the world. This book is mostly Jillian's doing. It is her book, and it is to her credit that it never occurred to me her story was book-worthy. She was our kid, and we loved her. Was she special? Only in the way everyone's kid is special. But as I started dusting the corners of where she'd been and who she'd touched, I recognized what a trip it had been.